All right, let's talk about something I know a lot of us have thought about: laser hair removal. I mean, why does it seem to take so many sessions? You think you're signing up for a quick fix, but it can feel like this endless journey. Well, it turns out there's a really cool scientific reason for it, and that's what we're going to unpack.
Right? This is the #1 question everybody asks. You go for your first session, you're all excited, and then the hair comes back. And you're thinking, wait, did I do something wrong? Is this even working? The answer is a big, resounding no. And trust me, by the time we're done here, you'll see why all those sessions are actually the secret sauce to making it work. So yeah, let's get into it.
First off, let's just admit it. It can be super frustrating. That whole cycle of shaving, then waxing, then maybe you start laser, and it just feels like it's never ending. You're putting in the time, you're spending the money, all for that dream of just not having to think about it anymore. So when it's not instant, yeah, it's easy to feel kind of let down. And you're absolutely not alone in feeling that way.
So where's the answer? Well, the key to solving this whole puzzle and getting past that frustration is hidden. It's happening right under your skin, literally, in the secret life of your hair. It's this hidden biological cycle that's running the whole show, and it controls everything when it comes to laser hair removal.
You know, the hair that we actually see, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What's really going on is that every single hair follicle has its own little agenda, its own schedule. It's constantly moving through these 3 different phases. And understanding this cycle, well, that is the aha moment for why you need more than one session.
Okay, so think of it this way. You've got the antigen phase, that's the growth phase. This is when the hair is actively growing, it's plugged in, it's full of life. Then you have catagen, which is a short transition phase. The hair's growth stops, the follicle kind of shrinks. And finally, there's telogen, the resting phase. The hair's just chilling for a few months before it eventually sheds. And the wild part is, every single hair on your body is in one of these 3 stages right now.
Okay, so where does the laser fit into all this? Well, here's the thing. The laser is kind of picky. It can't just zap any old hair. No, it has to wait for the absolute perfect moment to strike.
And here it is, the single most important thing to understand. The laser only works on hair that's in that active antigen growth phase. Why? Because it needs the hair to be a perfect little pathway, firmly connected to the root so it can send its energy down to zap the follicle. If a hair is in that transition or resting phase, that connection is gone. The pathway is broken. The laser's energy has nowhere to go. It's basically a wasted shot.
And this is why you need so many sessions. At any given moment, only about 20 to 30% of your hair is in that perfect active growth phase. Think about that. That means during any one treatment, the laser can only see and treat a small fraction of your hair. The other 70 to 80%, they're basically invisible to the laser at that moment. You're only ever targeting a small group at a time.
So, the science behind it is actually pretty straightforward. The laser sends out a light that gets absorbed by the dark pigment, the melanin, in your hair. That light turns into heat, and that heat travels down the hair to damage the follicle. But remember, it needs that direct connection, which only exists when the hair is actively growing in the anagen phase. If the hair is resting or transitioning, that pathway is broken, and the whole process just fizzles out.
Okay, so if we can only zap a small percentage of hairs at a time, how in the world do we ever get to that smooth finish line? Well, it's not magic, it's a strategy. It's like a game of chess with your hair follicles. And the winning move is all about timing.
That's why your treatments are spaced out, usually about 4 to 8 weeks apart. That's not a random number. It's the sweet spot. It's just enough time for a whole new batch of hairs that were sleeping or transitioning to wake up, enter that active anagen phase, and become a target. It's basically waiting for the next group to be ready for their turn.
And this is how the whole journey builds on itself. Session 1 gets that first 20%. Then you wait, and Session 2 catches the next 20% that's woken up. That's why after a couple of sessions, you really start to see a difference. The hair gets finer, it grows back slower. You're not just repeating the same step, you're systematically knocking out a new group each time until you've covered almost all of them.
And what's really interesting is that the number of sessions you need can change depending on the area of your body. Why? Because the hair growth cycles are just different everywhere. Some areas, maybe with denser hair or more hormonal influence, just have more follicles on different schedules. So the strategy is the same, it just might take a few more rounds to catch them all.
Now, to make this whole strategy successful, your part of the deal is consistency. Sticking to that 4 to 6 week schedule is so important. And that's why you'll see places like Wellaholic offer plans that make it easier to stay on track. A couple of other crucial tips. Don't wax or pluck between sessions. You need that hair root intact for the laser to work. And try to stay out of the sun. The laser needs a clear contrast between your skin and hair, and a tan can mess with that. It's all part of playing the game smart.
So you do all this. You're patient, you follow the schedule, you play by the rules. What's the end game? What's the big payoff? Is it really worth all the effort?
Well, just look at it this way. You can spend a lifetime with the constant hassle and cost of shaving or waxing. That's a high-effort, never-ending task. Or you can commit to a few months of these strategic laser treatments. It's a short-term plan for a long-term, low-effort result. It's a pretty clear trade-off when you see it laid out like that.
And this is what you get for it. We're not talking about being smooth for a week. We're talking about a permanent hair reduction of 85 to 90%. That means the huge majority of those follicles are just done. They're not growing hair anymore. That's not just an improvement, that is a total game changer.
And what about the future? Well, if a few stubborn hairs decide to show up later, maybe due to hormonal shifts or something, a super quick maintenance session once a year, maybe twice, is usually all it takes to keep things perfect. It's a tiny bit of upkeep for years of freedom.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's about more than just smooth skin. The sources talk about this huge boost in confidence. It's the freedom of just not having to think about it anymore. It's about leaving that whole frustrating cycle in the rearview mirror for good.
So once you get the why behind it all, it totally changes your perspective, right? It stops being this long, annoying process and becomes what it really is, a smart, scientific strategy. It's a team effort between you, your technician, and your body's own amazing natural cycle.